Absolute Power number one. Now, this is DC's big event of the summer, and Mark Waid is writing this with Dan Mora on art. And the art looks a little like they're trying to push a little bit towards a manga audience, a little bit, just like with the way the eyes are drawn and things like that. The colors are this like modern-y DC color schemes that there's a lot of like blurred line filters and things like that through here, and it looks like the backgrounds are kind of digitized actual city landscapes, and I guess that helps them draw faster or something like that. That's what it is. This starts out with a mystery. Superman gets shot and is falling to his doom, and then it goes back and tells you these things. Standard comic plot trope where you want to start an action, so you create the drama, and then you go, okay, well, if you want to find out what happened, this is where it starts before. It's something I see in a lot of modern comics. It's a way that's tried and true and been done for a while. And Superman getting shot and losing his powers has been done before. And this is called Powerless. And so the superheroes all start reacting to something. There's all this fake news being spread. And you can tell that Mark Waid's trying to like make a political message out of this, which kind of backfires as we get into it. I like Dan Mora's figures and art. I think it looks pretty good throughout all of this. Actually, the coloring, it grows on me after a while. It's definitely its own DC style that I've seen in a lot of books lately. Flash, Batman and Robin through the line, but it works, and I think it works for this deal. Now, the part that really makes it suffer is there's too many characters they're trying to shove into this because it's the line-wide event, and so every character gets a panel or two where they're reacting, and they're all on like some superhero phone line talking about what's going on together. And what that does pacing-wise is it ends up making things really slow. So we see these like images of superheroes killing people. You could see like they're washed out, and that's to show you that it's fake in the background. And all the superheroes are like, wait a minute, we're not actually there. This isn't actually happening. And that's kind of how they react in the first half of the issue. Now, this is an oversized issue, and so they are reacting on that level. And this is where, it's disinformation, it's fake news. Mark Waid's clearly trying to make a point about, his good friend Donald Trump throughout all of this. And I'll tell you why it backfires. So Amanda Wall, at least on his political message, it's very funny because whenever they try to put these messages in, a lot of the times they end up like swinging it so far around, they actually counter their own narrative. And I find it very funny. So Amanda Waller is running a government agency. She's got control of all these broadcasts, has actually controlled the whole media. People are reacting and rioting because of this, and she's taken over the government, basically. She's running a shadow government as a strong black lady who's actually in charge of everything. That's pretty funny because this takes place 2024. This doesn't take place in 2016 or anything. And when there's a shadow person controlling the government who's a black lady, you start to think, like this is kind of weird with Biden and Michelle Obama, actually, not Trump, which is where it backfires for Waid here a little bit. And if you've seen Waid's social media posts a lot, there's no doubt that he was trying to put this in here. Another message he was trying to put in here is that AI was creating all this, and all the AI art is bad and stupid. You can tell he feels threatened by AI art as it's coming out, and there's a lot of talk in the newsroom about AI-driven articles, and the Daily Planet does their thing by saying, hey, we actually verify things first. We don't do what the rest of the media does, which is, again, Mark Waid's probably commenting on stuff, but if you look at the mainstream media and the way that they cover political events, those people are all on Mark's side that go out with stuff immediately and all kind of regurgitate the same message. There's only a few in the media that actually tell an alternative and actually like look up facts and do stuff. And those are people like me out there who Mark Waid hates. It's really funny. He kind of painted people like me as the hero of this story. So thank you, Mark Waid. Appreciate it. And so she's got a team with like Brainiac, and she's got this like Batman robot thing to counter Batman as well. She has figured out a way to depower all the superheroes, and has this big line-wide thing where she's hunting them all down, got all their powers out. Batman's like, shoot, I should have seen this, and is kind of lamenting that as all the superheroes get hunted down. It's kind of in a way that's kind of a little bit of a rehash of Civil War from Marvel Comics back in the day. with a little bit of a, I guess, 2024 twist on this. The interesting twist, again, that like really solidifies this is if you look at the way that things go, Batman is trying to lead the superheroes against the shadow government, against the government overreach, against the government lying and conspiring with the media. Again, Batman's kind of like the outsider here, and Batman always gets called fascist by a lot of these people. Is usually portrayed as a right-wing kind of superhero. And not Ollie North, Oliver McQueen, the Green Arrow mentions he's with Waller. And says he's going to help hunt the superheroes down. He's over it and all that. So the extreme liberal character of the DC universe ends up being a government fascist. You can't make this stuff up. I'm laughing about this so hard because Mark Waid really, really just went the opposite of his message by accident, by trying to push his message too hard in this book. And look, it's a lot of superheroes standing and talking because every panel is a superhero talking. They're reacting to either fake news footage or they're reacting to the government robots hunting them down and things like that. And there's so many different heroes that it's really not a tight narrative in this. And it's a lot of just talking, telling you what's going on rather than the heroes actually doing something. And this is the setup. The setup is all the heroes are getting depowered so they can, have to figure something out and hit rock bottom first before they get to things. But it ends up being very, very slow paced because of this. And the slow pacing definitely hurts the book, especially in this like supersized extra length. But at the end of it, they're like, oh yeah, I guess Amanda Waller wouldn't do this unless she knows she already won. And then that's kind of the deal at the end here. And she's created, quote, an evil trinity to deal with Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, of like like the real, the DC Trinity. So and then it ends up there's like a Jonathan Kent that's like waking up and being like, who am I at the end of it to go forward. Now there's all these tie-in issues, of course. I'm not going to read those because, my gosh, they pad these things out so much to get everybody to buy 20 different books just to read a narrative. And I'm just going to read the main story because that's really all that matters. If you have to read all the tie-ins to understand a story and make it better and somehow make it more than this, and I'm sure that's why all the single panels were their own comic book that all blend in. I get it, to make an event and to make a giant omnibus out of it later to sell for $125. But by itself, this was pretty slow. The concept of the government hunting down all the superheroes, it's been done. But it's all right. And actually, I didn't hate this. I thought it was all right all the way around. The slowness, the superheroes kind of being passive and not really taking a heroic scene kind of hurt this on a level where it's just like they just kind of stood there the whole time and just reacted and just were like, oh, this is bad, rather than taking action. That didn't quite feel right or feel natural, especially with Batman sitting there the whole time. And just like not being able to process what's going on and just talking to everybody. That was kind of weird. But art looked pretty good, and the premise was all right. It was interesting. It flowed well enough, and the characters were distinct enough. And I really like that the backfired message of the like extreme government overreach of like the leftist government is actually clamping down on superheroes who are on the outside. I think that's hilarious because I know Mark Waid didn't intend it that way. It just ended up that way. All right. So overall, it's all right. It's a 7 out of 10, and we'll see how this progresses going forward. And we'll check this out. All right. Leave a comment down below with what you think about this. Hit the like and subscribe button. We'll be back soon.